Om. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। न मे मृत्युशङ्का न मे जातिभेदः पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्म न बन्धुर्न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्यः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्। I have न मे मृत्यु शंका, I have no fear of death, न मे जाति भेदा or have any distinctions of caste, पिता न एव मे, I have neither father, na eva mata, na janma, nor mother, nor even birth, na bandhu, na mitram, nor relations, nor friends. Guru neva, na eva shishyaha. I have no teacher and no disciple. Then who am I? Chidananda Rupaha. Shivoham, Shivoham. I am pure knowledge and bliss. I am all auspiciousness. I am Shiva. That is our true nature. This is what we saw last week. And eventually we have to come to, we can take many supports. We can take support of gods, we can take support of deities, we can take support of concepts. In other words, we can take support of the mind and speech to come to the sanctum sanctorium. Meaning what? Coming to sanctum sanctorium, it means when we take the support of God, no, the support of mind and speech, basically we use it to purify our mind of all attachments. Everything that we have associated with this entire, these 6 verses that we are seeing, it's systematically, you are not the 5 bodies, you got, and step by step it is taking you deeper. Yes, initially the Guru helped us, the physical Guru helped us, but don't remain attached to the physical Guru. Discover the Guru principle, the Sadguru within. Then it will be worth it. Otherwise, our idea of divinity, our idea of Guru is only with form. And as long as you are outsourcing your happiness, as long as you are outsourcing your own self, that it will come from outside, someone will make me realize, someone will make it happen for me. No. All these points were helpful. If parents did not give us the body, how could we even do this sadhana? But to remain attached to father and mother, friends and relations, to remain attached to fear of death, to the divisions within the society, that is committing a sabotage as regards our self-realization. We have to come to a point where we recognize that Chidananda Rupa, that I am the source of bliss. I am the bliss, not the mind, not the world, not I'm not happy, I'm not blissful, I'm not anything because of something. Wherever I become something, because there will be a cause. I am a causeless reality. I am the causeless existence. When this recognition dawns, the mind stops. The mind stops interfering. How does it interfere? By thinking, by outsourcing what? Happiness. What? Our own existence. No, our existence is not because of parents, not because of God, not because of Guru, not because of scriptures, not because of past, not because of future. I am self-established, self-existing. Come to this recognition, and when we come to this recognition systematically, then it is helpful. Today we do the last verse. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupaha vibhurvyapya sarvatra sarvendriyanam sada me samatvam na muktirna bandha chidananda rupaha shivoham shivoham chidananda rupaha shivoham shivoham. Aham nirvikalpaha. Then what is what is my nature? My nature is aham nirvikalpaha. I am devoid of dualities. I am devoid of thoughts. I am devoid of options. I am devoid of convictions. I am devoid of concepts, imaginations. All these happen by way of thoughts. When we say nirvikalpa samadhi, what is nirvikalpa samadhi? There are no options in your mind. Wherever there is option, there is a thought. So no duality. The mind is free. Where the mind is free of all thoughts, of all options, that very moment you fall back into yourself. Meaning, you come to recognize the one who is observing that before there were thoughts, before there were options, now there are no thoughts. But I continue to be the one who is the continuous principle, is the Chidananda Rupaha, Aham Nirvikalpa. So I am devoid of dualities or options, and therefore Nirvikalpa, I am formless. Whenever we associate ourselves with something, then alone, and because of that association, with reference to that association, we define ourselves. For example, I define myself, I am this body. I define myself, I am a Shishya. I define myself, I am a son. It is always in reference to someone or something. Options we are given to our mind, and we use the correct reference in whatever the situation we are placed in. Not only that, because I consider the body, I am the seer, I am the hearer, I am the talker, I am the speaker, I am the thinker. So, with reference to the eyes, I am the seer. With reference to the nose, I am the breather and smeller. With reference to the ears, I am the hearer. When wherever there is a reference, there will be a thought in the mind. See, because the pre preformed notion which leads to this becoming the seer, hearer, etc., is I am the body. So that body also is the thought in the mind. When I have done whatever contemplation practices, and when I become free of thoughts, free of options, free of notions, convictions, then alone I will recognize that I am the formless one. And how will you realize? You will not realize it by thought. Your nature is that. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupaha. Nirakara is the formless. I have no form. Self has got no form. Just as space surrounded by walls become a house, and it becomes livable because the space captured, as if captured by building the walls and the roof, becomes useful for our accommodation, doesn't mean the space has become limited. By nature, space is unlimited. So because you did not create this body, you did not create this mind, you did not create these thoughts, they came about. Parents created this body. Because you are finding yourself to be expressing through this body, just as the space finds itself expressing through the walls of the house, it does not get limited by nature. We should also not feel limited. We are Nirakar. The forms that are there, the shape that is there, through which we are expressing, it's only a conditioning. And you did not produce it. Someone else did. You are essentially the formless one. You are essentially the one without any dualities. Vibhuhu vyapya sarvatra sarvendriyanam. Then if I am the formless one, who am I? I am the one, Vibhu, the one who is all pervading. Ishavasya midagam sarvam. I am the all pervasive one. Vibhu vyapya sarvatra. I exist everywhere, pervading all the senses. Which are the senses? Seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, and the mind also. So I am pervading. Just like gold is pervading all the ornaments, water is pervading all the waves, mud is pervading all the pots. Mud is not useful, but mud in the form of the pot is useful. Similarly, what is my nature? My nature is that which is at the relative level, which is pervading the entire. And what is the entire? The cause of the entire world, perceptible world, the Adi Bhautik world, is our senses. Because senses are there, therefore the five elements are there, therefore the objects are there. Both are coexisting. Then what is the cause of the senses? The cause of the senses in the mind. So the cause of the world was the senses, cause of the senses is the mind, the cause of the mind is the intellect, the cause of the intellect is the conscious principle. Which one are you considering? So, who are we? Are we the cause? Yes, we are the cause of all causes. Just as ocean is expressing in and through every wave, similarly, the Atman, the self, it is pervading in and through the mind and the senses. They do not have any validity without the self expressing. They do not have any purpose without the self expressing. They do not have any functionality without the self expressing. Recognize this. Vibhur Vyapya Sarvatra Sarvendriyanam. Sarvendriyanam, I already told that it is pervading all the senses. And how do I pervade everything? I don't pervade by way of movement. That, like wind, it moves and then it pervades. Suppose, and it comes in waves. No, this pervasiveness is all over without any movement. It's an expansionless expansion. Without going anywhere, it is everywhere. This is the beauty of this self. Pervasiveness is like that. You have not gone anywhere to any part of your body, but you are pervading the whole body. Have you gone anywhere? But you are pervading the body. Has the space gone anywhere? Space was already there. You build walls in between. What is that which is pervading the space also? That is the self. That is the self. So self is not one teeny mini dot inside the body. It is not an thought in the mind. It is not a concept of the intellect. It is an independent principle that I am. And this independent one, which is ever, it is neither born, we already saw that, it's never born, it never dies in the previous verse. And therefore, by nature, it is all pervasive. Sada me samatvam na muktir na bandha. Then who am I? I am the Sada me samatvam. Always I am the same. Whether you give the space, the name, toilet space, temple space, bedroom space, kitchen space, you may call it anything, but space doesn't worry. Whether you call gold an ornament, an anklet, a ring, a chain, it doesn't matter to gold. Gold says, I am the same, whatever name you may call. You may call a cup, a saucer, a pot, but mud is the same. You may call it ocean, tide, waves, drop, well, pond, but water is H2 only. Similarly, you may call yourself, or people may call, you are the brother, you are the sister, you are the husband, you are the son, but you are the same. That you are the seer, hearer, toucher, feeler, thinker. No, you are not all that. That is all with reference. You are the one. You have never become many. You are always the same. Do I have a fight with myself? No, I want to be the seer, I don't want to be the hearer. Do you have a fight with yourself? That I want to be always awake, I always want to be the waker and I don't want to be the dreamer. Do you have a fight that I want to be the sleeper and I don't want to be the waker? No, you accept I am all of these are happening. So we have to take that position which is transcendental to these becomings. Becoming is a phenomena. You are not a phenomena. And where we accept phenomena to be I, there fear comes in. So now in this last concluding verse, who am I? I am the ever continuous principle. I have never been born, I have never died, I can never die, I have never become anything. I am always the same, just as space is always the same. In spite of uh, uh, being called as east, west, north, south, but space is the same. In spite of saying sunrise and sunset, sun is the same. In spite of being called by different names of ornaments, gold is the same. So come to recognize that you are the same ever and ever and ever and ever. And this continuous, non-corrupted, corruptible principle I am. Sada me, another way to put it is Sada me samatvam. I'm always the samatvam is I'm always equanimous. I'm always the eternal witness of everything. Samatvam is Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. I don't allow options to take hold of me. I do not allow myself to be divided. So a wave is afraid of birth, is excited when it is born, and it is afraid of death. So are you feeling you are getting old? Are you feeling your health is going down? Are you feeling that your memory is not as sharp as it used to be? Are you feeling that the hands are shaking? Are you feeling that the faculties are deteriorating? Are you feeling the body is getting old? Wrong conclusion about yourself. Who are you? You are ever the same. You are the one who knows that these equipments are going through change, but you are the changeless one. You are always the same. Sada me samatvam na muktir na bandha. If you are always the same, then where is the question of realization and where is the question of bondage? Bondage and liberation is two ideas for the one who feels, for the one who has become something or someone. The husband, the man having got attached to a woman, he has become husband. So bondage. Now he wants freedom, divorce. But was the man ever in bondage? Never. He was ever the same. He was ever the same. So this is a fine dissection initially in our mind, because we have we have not been trained from childhood to think that we are the witness. We have accepted we are the mind. Who accepts he is the mind? The jiva, the conditioned consciousness. And who are you? The unconditioned one, the unlimited one. And where there is conditioning, there is bondage and liberation, there is birth and death, there is growth and disease, decay and death. And this is the ultimate resolution to all our miseries, to recognize that we are the infinite one. Sada me samatvam muktirna bandha chidananda rupaha Shivoham, Shivoham. So we imagine that we are bound, and then we imagine that we need liberation, not recognizing that our nature, by nature, we are ever liberated. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham, Shivoham. So do not shortchange yourself. Come to recognize that by nature you are the auspicious one. So don't give heed to divisions, don't give heed to coming and going, don't give heed to becoming, don't give heed to mm, to any reference point in order to define yourself. Come to recognize that you are the eternal witness, unaffected, undisturbed, unchanging, yet all pervasive, independent, ever blissful existence. And that is auspiciousness. Here, when the word Shiva is used, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivo is not used to again create a reference of Lord Shiva. You can use it that way if it helps you. But Shiva, it is already said, Aham Nirvikalpo Nirakara Rupaha. So how can Nirvikalpa and Nirakara be some form of a Lord? Because that is total conditioning, that also we have created. So this self itself is the Shiva, itself is the auspicious one. Be that to the exclusion of everything. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham, Shivoham. Aham Nirvikalpo Nirakara Rupaha Vibhurvyapya Sarvatra Sarvendriyanam Sada me samatvam na muktir na bandha Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham, Shivoham. Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham, Shivoham. Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham, Shivoham.